Well, we got a lot to talk about in regard to the company's direction change into going more the health and the dental side of it. You know, I was just kind of blown away as far as how the company is kind of moving towards that. You know, obviously our founders obviously know something that we don't know, number one, but number two, they clearly believe in us, okay? They clearly believe in us and moving more towards that as opposed to more the IPO and agenda. So I'd like to talk about a couple different things today as far as what you can do in your business to get more enrollments for the health and dental. Who wants to do more health and dental enrollments? Excellent. All right. So my goal today is just that you guys would be able to pick up one or two things, you know, that you can apply in your business. So, you know, in the 2 years I've been here, you know, I hear a lot of people talking about, you know, posting ads. You know, posting ads to get leads for the health and dental. And, you know, and that's fine, but the problem with that is you put yourself in a state of hoping. Hoping that someone will call you, hoping that your paycheck will work. Well, what if you could go from hoping to knowing? Knowing that you can talk to someone, you know, as early as today, you could also grow your check today. Would that be worth some time? Excellent. But before I talk about that, I want to talk a little bit more about individual insurance. How that works, how we compare. Individual insurance is an illusion, okay? It's a farce. I talked to a lady here recently that had a particular plan. She was paying $200 a month. We're talking about individual here. And she had it a year. So she had put in $2,400 in premium. She had a $10,000 claim. And this company canceled her. Canceled her. Now here's some little insider information. When you're an individual, you cannot get more of a payout than the money you put into it. Okay? So that's why individual plans have exclusions. They have systematic rate increases. You know, all these type of things. They make it very challenging to get. And my favorite with these various plans that we're going to have to compete with more on a day-to-day basis is how they pay claims. You know, a lot of these so-called informed buyers will tell me, well, you know, Todd, you know, I'm looking at this plan, it's got a $5,000 deductible, and it's 100% coverage after that. Well, 100%, if you read the last page, says 100% of allowable charges. Exactly, exactly. So, in most states, those allowable charges are only 60%. So a person goes in, has a $100,000 event, they could be out of pocket $40,000. Okay? So it's an illusion. You think you're getting one thing, but you're actually, you're getting a totally different thing. And also these plans don't cover you on the job. Well, how often is a self-employed person working on their job? All the time. So, in addition to that, you know, most of these plans you run into are $5,000 deductible. Well, 90% of all claims are under $5,000. So who are they designed the plan for? You or them? Exactly. So, what's very interesting on an individual plan is the exposure that an insurance company has as far as paying out is about 2 to 3%. That's all their exposure is. And doctor visits don't count because what benefits companies end up paying back from doctor visits? About $12. That's the reimbursement rate. Okay, so if you're buying a plan for doctor visits, you've completely lost the whole idea with coverage. So, you know, there's a CEO of a particular insurance company a couple years ago. He made $1.2 billion in 1 year selling individual health insurance. So it is nowhere near what you're thinking it is. So most people that they get these type of plans, they change their coverage every 13 months. They assume that a household name company is going to pay like a household company through a corporation. It's totally different. It's totally different. Okay? So I say all this to say this. Okay? What if there was a better way? All right? At AmeriPlan, now don't miss this, at AmeriPlan you can apply to a group of several 100,000 people. Now, do you think that purchasing power is a lot better that way or as an individual? That way, exactly. So that's the part I really want you to home in on, okay, is that concept, okay? I spend 85% of my time when I'm talking with people on that concept and that concept alone. I have to get them to buy in the idea of being part of a large group was better than being an individual. Now, I can share that information, but they have to actually take ownership of that, okay? I can talk about it, but they have to actually say to me, boy, that does sound better being part of a large group, okay? When they say, people remember what they say, not what I say, okay? So the key on that, you know, with doing any enrollments is you want to make it simple, okay? I start every conversation when I'm talking with people about our plan saying, look, we've got a simple plan for you, okay? We've got a simple plan. And simplicity is really the key to success in life and sales. You know, I mean, life wants to make things frustrating for you, but it just make you less effective. So to simplify enrollments, you have to first paint a picture. 60 to 75% of people think in pictures. So you want to present this picture to people, okay? Once they get the picture, they'll buy the plan. When people say, hey Todd, can you send me an email or can you send me a brochure? All that means is they didn't get the picture. Okay? So now I also know that less than 2 to 3% of people actually read an email or read a brochure. So what I'm going to try to do is do a better part as far as painting that picture for them. Painting that picture that being part of a large group with lots of money coming in will always be better purchasing power than being an individual. Does that kind of make sense a little bit? You know, you compare us to an individual plan. You know, I mean, with an individual plan, I don't care if it's Obamacare or if it's with us. I mean, how much terror do you have to live in knowing that that plan can raise your rates, can cancel you, and get rid of you whenever they want to? How scary is that? What kind of security is that? Now, you heard me earlier talking about that emergency room bill that I had, okay? Every emergency room bill is different, but my out-of-pocket ended up being zero. So thank God I didn't have insurance. Thank God. Because if I would have had insurance, they would have penalized me. Individual insurance is like a payday loan. Sure, we'll give it to you. No problem. You want it, take it. But then as soon as you use it, it goes out. Again, it's that illusion. Now let's talk about actually selling the plan. You know, when you sell our plans, you can't just call people and say, hey, do you want to save money on your dental? Compared to what? See, the mind thinks in contrast. Okay? This compared to this. So what I do is I start with creating a picture of some pain or some consequence by not getting our dental plan. So I start by talking with people and I say, look, 95% of the policies out there have a $50 deductible, they have a 1-year wait, and they have a $1,500 maximum per year. And again, I want to engage them, okay? I want to get some kind of response from them. I want them to say, well, gosh, that's silly. I mean, who would pay for that? I mean, think about that. That is our competition. In addition to that, most of the plans out there, you can get a root canal one time every 7 years. So what I'm trying to do is, again, paint this picture, get them to a state of comparison. A person can't make a decision without comparison. So after I tell them about that, then I come in with what we offer. No deductible, no waiting period, no calendar year maximum. What a great deal. And what's also great about dental is the residuals. You know, I remember Kelly, my upline, was talking about her first week at AmeriPlan. She did a dental roll. That's still paid 11 years later. 11 years later. That plan is still on the books. I mean, I think that's amazing, and that's just an easier way to complement what you're already doing with IPO business, okay? So just food for thought on that. Now with our health plans, you know, there's no deductible. You can go to most hospitals, and our plan has not gone up in 12 years. No one has this. No one has this, all right? It's not even, you know, close as far as how we compare to other people out there. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I run into a lot of people that get turned off very quickly when I mention the word discount. Does that ever happen? Am I the only one? Am I the only one? Okay, maybe so. But the reality is that every plan out there is a discount. Okay? So you get a corporate plan through General Motors or wherever the case may be. What that's going to do is it's going to discount your rates. So what I like to say is it's a reduction in benefits provided. That's what I like to talk about, you know, painting that picture. Now, what I do that's become quite popular is how I get a lot of my enrollments is I just pick a particular industry to call. I like blue collars. I like to call people that other people aren't calling. So a couple of months ago, I enrolled 42 dietitians in Houston, Texas. Now, who in the world wants to call a dietitian? I mean, that's not very much fun. But that's the point. So I mean, I just call people that other people aren't calling on. Okay. So I begin that conversation with them. You know, one of the sites that I use is manta.com, MANTA.com, but there are plenty of other sites out there that you can use in regard to that. So when I call them, you know, I just begin a conversation with them. And, you know, if few people are offended when I give them an alternative to paying as much as $1,300 a month for Obamacare. Okay? $1,300 is what you could pay with Obamacare. So I begin a conversation with them. All right? I may not enroll them the first time I talk to them. Okay? That's no big deal. I'm not at all worried about that. Because in the benefits world, a no, all that means is not right now. Okay? Because I know that that health plan, by law, is designed to fail them. It's going to go up. All right? I talked to a guy not too terribly long ago that was paying $950 a month for a $10,000 deductible and thought he had hung the moon. That's the reality. I mean, that's the reality. So he went ahead, I talked to him and he said, hey, this is the greatest policy out there. And I didn't argue with him. But what I did is I called him back 3 months later, and his tune was a little bit different after he got a 62% rate increase from this company. What I'm trying to explain to you or share with you is the fact that what we offer is totally different from what is out there. I mean, you guys should be excited about the idea of selling more of those plans. It doesn't get any better. With Obamacare, and a lot was talked about this a few minutes ago, but I'd like to add a couple of things that might be helpful for a few people. You know, yes, there are going to be, you know, people that are going to pay this tax. But I've read some various things recently saying that less than 13% of the people that they thought were going to pay the taxes are actually going to pay the taxes. That is good news for us. Because all that's going to do is it's going to make the rate go up. People are already getting rate increases on their plan. They're already getting it. You know, which just is amazing how that works. So, anyway, I just want to talk about, you know, don't being afraid to call people, you know, in in addition to everything else that you're doing, that's where I'm having the most success. It's just calling people, just having a conversation with them. Now, with Obamacare taxes, let's talk about that, because we really didn't address that earlier. But there is a tax that you have to pay for not getting Obamacare. Okay? And there is some conjecture as far as how much that's going to be, but as a general rule, it's $95 right now for an individual. I believe $325, something like that for a family. So what that means is this. In 2015, when you get your tax return, it's going to be $95 less for an individual, $325 less for a family. I'm not worried about that. It doesn't really matter to me because my plan is a zero deductible and a lot more comprehensive. See, most plans that people are buying with Obamacare are what they call the bronze policy. A bronze policy is a $6,000 deductible, and it's $60/40 after that. I'm covered. Oh, really? Man, that's amazing. I talked to a lady just recently that was bragging about her plan that she got for $400 a month through the Obamacare. And I'm like, great, now what do you go in and use it for? She said, well, I go in for my pap test once a year. Oh, okay, covers wellness. So I asked her, well, how much does a pap test cost? She didn't know. And I let her know it's about $33. So she is paying $4,800 a year to get a $25 copay, so that Obamacare will cover $8. It's just amazing. It's just unbelievably amazing to me. But just to kind of summarize, I just would invite you guys to get excited about explaining to people our concept. That being part of a big group will always be better than an individual. If you can somehow be able to get them to take ownership on that concept, there's no reason why any one of you guys can be up here next year talking about it. Thank you very much. Thank you.